everybody. Welcome to another episode of Crimes, Killers, Cults,
and Coke cans.
Coke cans.
Oh, we'll get to a Coke can in this one.
We will?
We sure will.
I must have missed that in my notes.
Oh, boy. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up.
Right out of the gate. Holy crap.
It's one of those little details that doesn't make any difference for the story, but it's just really, really weird that it's a thing.
Okay. Well,
and if I tell you when it happens, it spoils the entire episode.
Well, then don't do that then. Then don't do that then.
That's why I just wanted to bring it up.
I'm Bill, and joining me is Kevin Carlton, the host of
Kevin.
the world famous, totally awesome, best freaking history podcast on the planet,
well,
History Goon.
It's pretty good. Like, it's not my favorite history podcast, but it's not bad.
Well, CKCB, CKCA isn't my favorite true crime podcast either.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But,
I mean, I'm no Dan Carlin or anything, but
yeah,
like Dan Carlin, if he was working 50 hours a week hanging drywall and then doing it on the side, maybe. But
yeah. But this is part 4 of our 5-part Lethal Ladies binge.
Yep, the bitch binge.
The bitch binge. And we got a bitch for you today.
Yes, we do.
Not like we haven't for the past 3 episodes or whatever.
No, but this one's a special case. I do have a soft spot in my heart for the country of Australia, though. They've produced a lot of things that I thoroughly enjoy. You know, like, Quigley Down Under is set in Australia.
Yeah.
I have a 4-year-old, so I've seen every episode of Bluey at least 10 times.
Oh boy.
And I've got some Australian friends and listeners.
I mean, I just had I had everything, like I had to cram to finish this episode, because I had an unexpected long day at work. So I just kind of, I just threw in the the graphic here, but I'm looking at this graphic, and that's probably not that far off from what her bedroom actually looked like.
Probably not. I could picture her with all the knives and shit with like some really goofy, like floral pattern wallpaper though, because she's still a girl.
Well, she did have well right out of the gate, put a knife in that.
A big fucking knife.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing about this that I didn't, this is like, look at the size of that fucking knife she's got.
That's a knife.
You're right, that is a knife.
As I gaze longingly at it, like, man, I need a knife that size.
Just go to freaking, go to Harbor Freight or something like that and get a machete.
No, man, my brother makes knives, so I get yelled at for buying them. Like even my little carry knife that I have with me just about everywhere I go, usually, if I can find the damn thing, because I took it off my belt and set it down. Where are you, buddy? Right there. Like even my small little carry knife, I get yelled at for having that because my brother's like, I could have made it. I'm like, yeah, it would have taken you fucking 2 years to do it though, because you got backlogs on stuff.
There we go. We got the
updated
4
graphics.
out of 5. Yep. 4 out of 5. And who will be?
Do it.
Yeah, but of those 4, Katherine Knight is the best looking one.
Of those 4, yeah. And
yes.
that's saying something because she's still ugly.
Yeah.
Juana Barraza looks like she
now
should
when Katherine Knight was younger, she wasn't bad looking.
Man, I don't know. I mean, I was just thinking about something. We may be the first podcast that has covered Katherine Knight and also mentioned Bluey as an Australian reference in the same episode.
So
crazy.
Anyway, we're going back down under. We've already covered John Bunton, that cunt.
Oh Jesus! Could you imagine going down under with any of these? Yikes!
No, when Todd and I covered John Bunting, I actually got a email from another podcaster telling me, be ready because there's this guy that's a friend of John Bunting that goes after podcasters that he trolls them and all that stuff. And I'm just like, okay, well, thanks for the tip, but I'm really not worried. But that person never reached out.
Well, I hope he does now, because now you got me. And I will say some shit on the internet to people.
We've also covered Ivan Milat. We've covered Christopher Worrell and James Miller, but we haven't covered an Aussie lady yet until now.
And I can't remember the other guy. Like Brad something. He's the other half of the inspiration, other than Ivan Milat, for the movie Wolf Creek.
Yeah, and I know who you're talking about.
He was a big bastard. He was like 6'10" or something.
Yeah.
And the reason they caught him is because he was allergic to chicken. So like, what a fucking dork. Who's allergic to chicken?
Damn.
Couldn't imagine. What a life. It'd be like being allergic to peanut butter.
I am allergic to peanut butter.
Are you you have a peanut allergy?
Yes.
Oh, Bill, dude, I am so sorry. That would be a death sentence for me, because I fucking love peanut butter. Only thing I'm lucky enough to be allergic to is coconut, and that stuff's gross anyway. So
I like coconut.
But they just put coconut oil in everything, so I can't eat half the shit that I really like.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
I hate it.
But we're covering Katherine Knight, an Australian murderess with the distinguished title of the first woman ever in Australia to be sentenced to life without parole.
Yeah, probably should have been death, but Australia's soft. They're European after all, so.
She was convicted of the murder of her partner, John Charles Thomas Price, in February of 2000.
Price.
She stabbed him to death. But if by some chance you haven't heard this case before, we won't spoil the rest of the details for you now. I mean, I'm assuming that most every true crime podcast listener has heard Katherine Knight, but in case there's the one out there, let's not spoil it.
I mean, I will say this: stabbed him to death is an understatement.
This is true.
So there is a quote, because you've mentioned, and I think we had the word Cenobite in the title.
Yeah.
I have such sights to show you. If you've never seen Hellraiser,
yeah,
that'll make some sense.
It will, and yeah, a Cenobite instead of a lady in waiting, she's a Cenobite in waiting.
Yes. God.
Oh God.
What a gross bitch.
Evil.
Sorry if that offends anybody, but oh my God, this woman is Lady Satan.
She is the serial killer. She only killed one person. As far as I'm concerned, the "that we know of" tag that we throw in all the time won't be applied here.
No, but man, she went above and beyond when she did.
Yeah, she only killed Price. But if you knew the case and were wondering why she was the first to get life without parole after just one murder, all I'm going to say is put a knife in that.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Yes. Select one from above your bed and put it in there. That reference will make sense in a minute.
Since we're in the middle of a binge, Kevin and I were talking before we started recording. Sometime soon we're going to do the kangaroo binge. It makes sense because they've got a lot of crazies there, and since I live in the state that's dubbed the Australia of the USA, good old Florida, it's almost a sin that we haven't binged Australia yet.
And what's funny is you say that, because Florida's full of crazy people. Ohio is the Florida of the Midwest. I've definitely heard that referenced before.
Yeah, I've actually heard that too, but I don't see it. I've been to Ohio.
Now, the only thing Ohio really does is produce a ton of fucking professional wrestlers for some reason.
So does Florida.
And then chili on spaghetti for whatever reason, but, we'll forgive them for that.
Sources are the true crime documentary, The True Story of Katherine Knight. Now, I went way back in the Wayback Machine to an author that I used to use frequently that I haven't used in a very long time, and that would be Ryan Green and his book Maneater, the terrifying true story of cannibal killer Katherine Knight. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of Maneater, the terrifying true story of cannibal killer Katherine Knight. Knight.
A lot of what's that word when words start with the same same sound?
I don't know.
Alliteration.
Alliteration, yeah.
There we go.
But I haven't used a Ryan Green book in probably at least 2 years. I think the last one that I did was probably Ivan Milat.
Interesting choice because also Australian.
Also Australian. And I used the mirror.com/UK and a little bit of wiki. Katherine Knight was born October 24th, 1955 in Tenterfield, North South Wales, Australia, to Ken Knight and Barbara Ruin. It's spelled Roughan, but I think it's pronounced Ruin. Like ruin. To say that Katherine had a rough go of it would be an understatement. Barbara was married to Jack Ruin. They had 4 sons. Barbara had a guy who her husband worked with who was just a friend named Kenneth Knight. Kenneth Knight was a friend of Jack's, but he and Barbara started doing friend stuff, and by friend stuff I mean each other.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. Jack kicked her out, and she and Kenneth moved to a town called Moree, north South Wales.
Mm-hmm.
North South Wales. I don't know.
English.
None of her sons came with her. 2 of them stayed with Jack, while the other 2 went to live with an aunt in Sydney. And this was a major scandal. The whole town knew, and she was called a number of pleasant names like whore, slut.
That one that starts with a C that Australians call everything.
Well, in this case, she probably wasn't called a cunt because it's a term of endearment down there.
That's true. Yeah.
So
they call your friends that.
Right. So they probably didn't call her a cunt.
The other guy I was thinking of was Bradley John Murdoch.
Yeah.
He could be an interesting fella.
Barbara and Kenneth either wanted kids, or Kenneth's pull-out game was really weak, or they were Catholic.
We'd have to trace back their ancestry, see if they're Irish or not.
Well, they definitely weren't church people, but they had 4 kids together. Katherine was actually a twin. She had a twin sister, Joy, who, believe it or not, was the tomboy of the 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were fraternal twins as well.
Those are not identical, right?
Right.
Okay.
But Kenneth and Barbara weren't finished. They had 2 more children together as well. So let's see. There's 4 kids from Jack. And 4 kids. Barbara has produced 8 children.
Is she a dog? Having litters of children?
1959, when Katherine was just 4 years old, her father Jack died, and the 2 boys who lived with him moved in with Ken and Barbara.
Yeah, I put that together too. It's like, wait a second. It's a throwback to the Ken and Barbie killers. Hit that money button.
So that's 6 kids living with these 2 grade A parents. And by this time, they were in Aberdeen. Kent moved to... I said Kent. Hope you guys like those 2 episodes with Kent McGowan, because we sure had a good time listening to him tell his story.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't a good story, but it was fun to listen to him tell it.
Well, it was intriguing. That's a better word.
Yes.
But
holy shit, what a sad tale that man told.
Yeah. But Ken moved around a lot, going from slaughterhouse to slaughterhouse. And let's talk about Ken, shall we? He was a slaughter man. He worked in slaughterhouses, slaughtering animals. Yes. That's what inspired Katherine to later take up the trade. She wanted to follow in Dad's footsteps. But believe it or not, she was kind of a daddy's girl. Kinda.
And I mean, that's not a bad business to get into. Everybody got to eat, you know?
Yeah.
Cows don't kill themselves generally, so.
No. But he was also a violent drunk who would beat and rape Barbara daily.
Now that part makes sense.
Yeah, this lends credence to his wake pullout games because if you're raping somebody, you usually don't have time to put on a condom.
Right. It's usually not the first thing on your mind to be like, oh,
Right.
hey, I'm going to go force myself on
Hey,
this
hey,
woman. I better bring protection.
hey, hold still for a minute. Hold on, I'm going to finish raping you in a second. But safe sex. We gotta have safe sex.
Yes.
No.
I'm nothing if not considerate, of course. Wait, he wasn't? Shit. Okay.
But Barbara stayed. It was just how things were. But rather than just going along to get along, Barbara shared all the nasty details of her sex life with her daughters. That's bad enough, but this wasn't educational or instructional talk. Barbara had developed a deep hatred both for sex and men, and you can certainly understand that, but she had no business passing her hatred onto her daughters.
Correct. No, that's what I would refer to as a teachable moment.
Right.
To tell your children, find someone not like this.
Right. But it gets even more sad because when Catherine was a teenager, she had a boyfriend who was wanting sex. Catherine didn't, but the guy wouldn't back down. She told Barbara about it, but Barbara told her, just give them what they want so they'll shut up.
Gross.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Right? Yes. Catherine later said that she had been repeatedly sexually assaulted by several family members, and this was confirmed by other family members as well as psychiatrists who had worked with Catherine. But there's also family members who say that it didn't happen. But I think it did.
Yeah, more than likely.
Ken never did. That's kind of an odd detail in a story like this.
Especially for a prolific rapist.
Right. But he never defended Catherine either. So she began doing whatever she could to stay out of the house as much as possible. She spent a lot of time with her uncle Oscar, who had been a champion horseman when he was younger. But later on, he had basically become like a horse vet. He taught Catherine respect and love for animals, and they would nurse injured animals back together in Oscar's barn. I'd say I have put a knife in that here, but I'm just gonna say it. That love and respect for animals goes away later.
Yeah, and it doesn't apply to, humans, so.
Right. But it got to the point to where she would start caring, like if she found a injured bird or whatever, she'd bring it home. And actually, she and Ken kind of butted heads over that, but she won, and Ken let her be the little makeshift redheaded Aussie vet. But this was all short lived because Oscar took his own life when Catherine was just 14.
Jesus.
And this sent Kat over the edge, and the next time one of her brothers tried to violate her, she stood up for herself and whooped his damn ass.
Good.
Mm-hmm. She nearly broke his jaw and threatened to cut off his pecker if he ever tried it again.
Cut your prick off.
Over the next several months, all of the boys would mysteriously have black eyes and even stab wounds from small knives that they explained it away as being from an accident or from roughhousing or whatever.
Yes, roughhousing is what we're going to call it, sure.
But they left Catherine alone after that. Once she had made it clear that she wasn't going to be their toy anymore. And good on you there, Catherine.
You get stabbed a couple times, you're probably going to stop trying to force yourself on somebody.
Yeah. Unless you're a vampire.
That's true. And stabs don't do anything unless it's a silver blade.
Right.
Or if there's garlic oil on it.
Well, Catherine was very tall for her age, and when she was in high school, she was a loner. She was also a bully, but she was likely getting bullied due to her height and, let's be honest, the red hair.
Yep.
She got tired of it and learned to defend herself. She assaulted boys with weapons when they made dirty comments about her developed assets. She held a girl down and cut her pigtail off in retribution for the girl tripping her. She even got her butt kicked by a teacher. It was later reported that self-defense by the teacher because she had tried to stab him.
Jesus Christ.
But when Catherine wasn't in a rage, she was a good student, pleasant to be around. The problem was she was angry more often than not.
And the fact that she's a redhead and Australian, it made me. I'm like, I know there's a term for what they call them. Again, it's hilarious. They call them rangas.
I was going to say fire crotch.
Nope. Ranga being short for orangutan because they're orange.
Oh, damn.
God bless the Australians.
I like redheads.
I do too, but it's just so funny. Like every different culture is just like, ew.
But see, now this is the type of person that I am. The hands down worst ex that I have was a redhead. But that didn't change the way that I feel about redheads as a whole.
My best friend in the whole world is a giant redhead who also happens to look kind of like an orangutan because he's like 6'4" and like jacked to the teeth. But yeah.
But Catherine dropped out of school at 15 years old and she was illiterate. She started working. She was a cutter in a clothing factory initially, but soon she landed her dream job working in the slaughterhouse.
Yay. I like cutting stuff. Let's change departments.
Yep. She started off making meat cuts off of slaughtered animals, but that didn't last long. She was a natural, and then soon she had been promoted and she had become a boner. Hey.
Happens to the best of us, you know.
Had to.
They couldn't call it a deboner, which would be less.
She started boning animals.
Sounds like some other people you've talked about on here. That weird little German guy that started killing and eating people was boning animals. Ed Gein was probably boning animals. You know.
Oh God. But being a boner came with a brand new set of butcher's knives.
Ooh.
Oh, might as well do that and put a knife in that.
Literally. A whole fucking roll of knives.
Yeah. I'm trying to move stuff around here. All right, cool. I think I got it. Manageable. I wish Riverside would leave it the way I said it, please.
Nah. We'll change everything else except shit that people don't want changed.
Yeah. She also excelled at the slaughter, and what had happened was there was a man in charge of the actual slaughter room, kind of bent the rules and let her do it on lunch breaks, so she got good at that too. But she also developed quite the vocabulary while working there. You know, the type that would make a sailor wince.
Sounds like a carpenter.
And heaven help anybody who gave her grief about being a woman in a man's line of work. She would come at them with one of those knives. Nobody fucked with her.
Mm-mm. Look at her. Come on now. And not to be that guy, but like, look at her. I'm not going to fight that woman.
No.
She looks like the lady from the beginning of fucking Boondock Saints in the slaughterhouse.
She was proud of those knives. She kept them in a very special place. I'm just going to go ahead and say, take a guess.
Oh, I know. We've already shown where she kept them.
I know, and I'm putting it up there again.
Above the bed. Now, do you think it was like a knife rack, or did she just like hang them things from the ceiling so she could stare at them while she was...
That's honestly what I picture.
When
I think about it.
Yeah. Like a pot rack for knives, but just directly over the bed.
But then again, if something, I don't know, if let's just say that there's like a lightning strikes like right next to her house and jostles one of those things loose while she's asleep.
That is called divine intervention. That is solving a problem.
That would be God saying, put a knife in that.
Yes. I'm sending you home. Not here, though. We flipped again.
Yeah. But hanging from the ceiling over her bed, she said it was for protection, and this habit stayed with her for the rest of her life as a free woman. She was one of the boys. She was drinking with them. Actually, now I've seen conflicting reports. I've seen things saying that she was out drinking when she was 17 years old. I've also seen things that said that she didn't start drinking until she was like in her late 30s or early 40s.
She's
I'm
Australian.
guessing
She was drinking when she was 17.
That's what I thought.
No offense, Australia, but you have a reputation.
She was hanging with the guys and everything, but she actually did want romance, and she was flirting with a man named John Chillingworth. But she was 17, and John wasn't Kip Winger
or Steven Tyler or Robert Plant
or Ted Nugent
or Ted Nugent. Insert rock star from the 70s or 80s.
Anyway,
or Gene Simmons, I guess, too.
Probably. Christine 16. He wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
But put a knife in that.
So many fucking knives.
There was a truck driver that would make deliveries to the slaughterhouse frequently. His name was David Kellett, and he and Catherine struck up a friendship that led to more. And David was ripe for the picking. He wasn't really a fighter, and in one instance, another employee was trying to pick a fight with him, and he just walked away. When she was 18 years old, she moved in with him, and they married in 1974 when Catherine was 19. They both had been banned from several bars because of, because Catherine's getting into fights and everything. So there was the signs were there, but the fights had mostly been because drunks tried to pick fights with David because of how short he was compared to her.
Aw. She
towered over him. She topped out at 6 feet tall.
God damn. And this guy's probably what, like 5'7"?
Something like that, yeah.
Ugh.
The cat standing up for him is what sprang the trap. Plus, he had a sexual appetite that sort of kept up with hers.
She wanted it a lot, if I remember correctly.
She did. They were living in sin, and Kat didn't want that. And her mother had told her about how she had become a pariah because of living in sin. So she started dropping hints to David about marriage and then demanding it. David was on board. So on the day before the wedding, Kat took David to meet the parents.
Good movie, though.
Huh?
A good movie, though. I've got nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
The meeting was going well until David went to the kitchen on a beer run for Ken and himself. And Barbara, Kat's mom, cornered him in the kitchen. And David nodded to her. He's getting nervous. Remember, this guy doesn't like confrontation.
Right.
I have a clip from a play about Katherine Knight that never saw a stage that is this conversation between Mom and David. Want to hear it?
Yes. A play about this woman? Yeah, let's hear this.
You want to marry her, do you?
Yes.
You sure about that?
I know she's got a temper, sure.
You know she's got a screw loose, don't you?
Don't you worry, ma'am. I'll treat her well.
Nah, you don't understand at all. You better watch this one. She'll fucking kill you. Stir up the wrong way or do the wrong thing and you're fucked! Don't ever think of playing up on her or she'll fucking kill you. I'm not worried it ain't gonna be me she kills if this goes tits up.
The only thing that could have made that more Australian is she went, yeah, nah. Meaning no. Or no, yeah. Meaning yes. Since we're talking about Australia, I feel like because of the name of my show that I have to share my favorite Australian slang term for anything, and it's called a goon bag. And that is when you take a box of wine and you take the bladder out of it, still full of wine, and you just fucking drink it. Like with a tube.
A box of wine?
Yeah, like the box wine
like
shit.
Franzia?
Like the Franzia. You just take that shit out of the box and you just like suck it out of a tube.
Okay.
God bless the Australians. They are insane. Like, I mean, when your entire ancestry is nothing but, people from a prison colony. You kind of have that. Season 3, episode 1. Ned Kelly of the History Goon podcast, if you want proof of that.
Well, another thing, if you go back, I don't know what episode number this is, but if you go back and listen to our French wine terrorists episode,
French wine terrorists. I didn't know that's a thing.
I didn't either. Oh my god!
Oh no! Who was this? I need to look.
They were Crave, CRAV. I don't know what that stands for.
French wine terrorist. Okay, I'm making notes here. No worries.
I had to piece it together. It's not a very long episode, but it's a great episode.
Okay, let's do some looking.
Yeah, it's around episode 60, somewhere in that part of the catalog. But anyway, David didn't believe her and he laughed it off. The wedding day was just the next day. It happened to be the day that she turned 18. The happy day arrived, and David was drunk when he arrived.
Hell yeah, brother!
His friends had gotten him up at 7 o'clock in the morning, started filling him full of beer and liquor, getting him drunk for staying power.
A regular Tuesday in Australia.
The marriage was, well, quaint would be an overstatement. They just exchanged vows quickly, and then it was time to party.
Again, hell yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. That marriage was doomed from the start. On their wedding night, Katherine attempted to strangle him because he couldn't rise to the occasion, not one more time, not 2 more times, not 3 more times, but 4 more times.
I mean, come on. Man's got limitations.
Catherine
the mind is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Yeah. I had snoo.
Yes.
You know something? That's snoo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Death by snoo.
Except, yep. I mean, that's a way to go for sure. But 4 or 5 times is just.
That's Futurama, the Futurama episode, by the way, that we were referencing there. But Catherine questioned his manhood. Now this was weird because her mother had told her that she and Ken had done it 5 times on their wedding night.
Jesus.
And she actually wanted to go 7 times, two more than her parents.
Well, good old, dear old dad must have got into some of that weird, like, Chinese tiger powder or something, and fucking got.
And he probably hadn't been drinking since 7 o'clock that morning either.
That's true. I mean, there is a certain point where yes, a little bit of alcohol does help. Too much, there's that fine line. It's a razor's edge where if you cross it, whiskey dick.
No, your warning is whiskey dick because it's still somewhat functional.
Correct.
But you keep going after that, ain't nothing happening.
It's like being good at darts. You get me 3 or 4 beers, I can play darts with the best of them. You get me 5 beers, I can't hit the fucking board. Probably applies in the bedroom as well, but who knows? It's been a minute, so
yeah. After the first 3 extremely rough but quick rounds, and if he'd been drinking all day, I don't see how they were quick rounds.
This whole thing starts like a UFC fight, okay? You've got the vows, which is, you ready? Let's get it on. And then they just start fucking hitting each other.
But David conked out. Catherine tried to revive him. She even tried to take him while he was out cold. After round 3, before going night-night, David told her that if she kept it up like that, she was going to kill him. She was.
I think we've all been there before.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to die. I can't do this again.
Dave, she was convinced that he was ignoring her, and he may have been, but if he was, he deserves an Oscar for the best passed out performance. Finally, he woke up, and she was screaming at him that it was her wedding night, and he had better consummate her proper.
Jesus Christ! Like. When do you just go, enough, woman? I can't do this anymore.
Just Just
Jesus. She's 18 and like getting after it like son of a bitch. And this dude's probably like, I don't know what, 30?
Nah, he was like 22 or 23.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's got no excuse then other than the fact that he's drunk.
Right.
You know.
But David couldn't. Catherine put her hands around his throat, squeezed, snarling, "I'll teach you a lesson you'll never forget."
Well, you kill him, you can't fuck no more. So
Well, I don't know about that.
yeah. Well, I mean, the other way around. Like, if it was him doing that, then yes, he could. But I don't know
about that.
science of rigor mortis of the penis or anything.
The Mighty Murder Coaster, they have an episode about this woman who was like caught, using corpses that way. There's a reason they call him a stiff.
Nice. You imagine your ghost just floating in the room and you're like, yeah, I got it.
Oh, damn. But she did. And for a while, everything was all good until it wasn't. Catherine had been accusing David of sleeping with other women, and this is going to be a recurring theme with her. But she was doing it constantly to the point where David was threatening to leave. But he was still working as a truck driver, and while he had peace on the road, home time was something else entirely. He stayed out drinking with his buddies as late as he could when he was home.
I don't want to go home.
Yeah. Catherine had an epiphany. She realized that her dad had cheated on her mom, and she thought that maybe she might have the same luck.
He's having sex with her dad.
Huh? What?
I was like, that's where her mind goes. Like, he's having sex with my dad.
No.
That son of a bitch. They're cheating on each other with themselves.
But no, the epiphany resulted in home-cooked meals for David, and she was sweet and loving. She even gave David some space. She still had her fits from time to time, but she did her best to keep him away from David. So it sounds... And they lived happily ever after. We'll see you next week. No.
Yeah, yay. Happiest episode ever. We only have an attempted murder.
Yeah. In 1975, Catherine got pregnant, but that changed everything. She had been compartmentalizing her fear that David had been cheating. And when you compartmentalize, eventually that shit's going to snap.
Yep.
But now she was terrified of being alone with a child. So paranoia and rage set in. She was totally convinced that David was going off with another woman whenever he left the house for anything. She threw his clothes into the bathtub and lit them on fire. That caught the house on fire. After it was out, the loving couple stayed in a small rental while the fire damage and smoke damage was fixed. But the accusations of infidelity were constant now, not just in private. She'd go off on him in public too, and that also is, routine. Like I said, the next thing I have written, this became routine. And it would, don't you love it when that happens?
Oh, all the time.
You say something, then holy crap, that's what I was literally going to say next.
Yep. You have like a whole paragraph about something you need to talk about, but before you get there, you start in on it without realizing that you've already written it.
Yeah.
And then you look at it and you go, I already said that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm skipping this. Like a wrestling episode last week. We did that a couple times.
Yeah. She would beat him with household items, including clocking him with an iron that left a gash on his head. Another time, it was a cast iron frying pan.
And actually, which one was it? Was it the
Dana Sue Gray?
Yeah. So we've seen the damage
that
an iron will do. And that was not pleasant to look at.
Oh, I'm sure that Catherine's iron looked just like that iron from that episode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, just that one side of it. The other side was from somebody else. That thing didn't fucking work at all. She beat that iron to death against two people, I would assume.
Probably.
Black and Decker,
That knocked him out cold, and I could just see him arriving home 1 minute late and just calling out, "I'll just assume the position cat," and just flop out on the floor.
She hits him with a cast iron frying pan, Looney Tunes style.
Yeah.
He's got the big fucking lump on his head after that. Like Tom and Jerry.
No.
It just
Police
goes stiff and tips over.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, never mind. I was going to say something about if you went stiff, she'd be okay with it.
True. Oh my God! Can you imagine if like some sort of physical violence was required for men to perform?
Dude, that's almost as bad as if like when you arrive, if there was a noise associated with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a wine cork.
But police would be called, and every time David would explain it away. This was the 70s, and real men didn't get beat up by their women.
No, that still happens now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you call the police for a domestic as a man, and they're going to arrest you and leave her there, even though you got the shit kicked out of you.
Yep.
I have seen that before.
Likewise.
Mm.
But it did become routine, and that's just what it was. But he loved Katherine.
Of course.
May of 1976, Katherine's first daughter, Melissa Ann, was born. But David was working when it happened, so Katherine had to go it alone. But David wasn't working.
Mm.
He had split.
Good guy. That's a smart move, actually. I'm not one for abandoning your children, but
Yeah.
I get it.
He had met another woman and run off with her to Queensland and put a knife in that. Plus, he had knocked this woman up.
Nice.
So for the birth and the first few weeks of Melissa's life, Katherine was stewing, plotting revenge on David. And in those first weeks of Melissa's life, usually devoted to bonding between mother and baby, I'm sure Melissa was stressed out the whole time because of mother screaming her freaking brains out the entire time.
And not paying attention. There's no physical contact, and that is a very important part of a child's life.
Correct.
Right there. Like I know dudes that have had kids that refuse to do skin-to-skin contact with them because it's, quote, gay. Like, dude, no, I didn't have a shirt on for the first 2 days after my son was born. Because I was just like, oh, no, come here, buddy. And,
yeah.
You know.
But she actually started to hate Melissa. One day she decided enough was enough. Someone was going to have to pay for David's betrayal, and that someone was Melissa. She put Melissa in a baby carriage along with a knife, then ran down the street screaming while Melissa flopped around in the carriage with the knife.
Don't put a knife in that.
No, I wasn't going to.
No, I'm just saying.
She did.
General,
she did. She put a knife in that.
Yeah.
Hopefully it didn't
Poor
do that.
Kid. I had a fucked up childhood because, you know, my parents were always yelling and arguing shit. So I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Police had been called, but Katherine had run out of gas by the time they got there, and she was on her knees sobbing. And police, rather than take her to a psychiatric hospital, they'd take her home and take Melissa to her parents' house.
Well, it's postpartum depression is what they'll be like, oh, no, it's just,
no, not yet.
She's having a rough day.
That's what they told her initially is what they were going to do. But what they did was they took her to St. Elmo's Hospital in Tamworth. They ran all sorts of tests and determined that she was bipolar. She had an IQ in the low 80s, and she was also illiterate. And she probably had PTSD as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. From the childhood that we just talked about, yes. I would assume that's probably a given, you know?
Yeah, she was let go, and she was given Melissa back after a week of observation. Once she and the baby got home, there was an eerie silence coming from the house the rest of the day and all the next day. But that wouldn't last long, because Katherine once again decided that Melissa had to die. She took Melissa down to the train tracks and laid her on the tracks, knowing that the train would be there in minutes. She then took off. Luckily for Melissa, old man Ted was foraging along the tracks for mushrooms, and he heard Melissa crying. And he took Melissa to the police. Good on him.
could you imagine just being out and hearing a kid crying? Like, you have kids? Even a stranger's kid. Like, if I'm in a grocery store and I hear a kid screaming, I'm automatically like, oh, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, the dad thing kicks in where you're like, I need to figure out what's happening and just hope that it's something normal. You know?
But imagine finding a kid like that had just been dumped in a place where it's gonna get killed.
I couldn't. I would have done the same thing and then been like, okay, well, I'm about to turn this into a Charles Bronson movie and find this woman.
Yeah, right.
You know, we are going to have a conversation.
But Katherine didn't fuck off and go home. She stole an axe from a yard and went into a town like a female William Cottrell with an axe instead of a gun. She's, by the way, William Cottrell, episode 30. And more recently, just about, I don't know, maybe 6 episodes ago, I wrote a song about William Cottrell.
Yes.
There we go. So
call the police, load the wombat cannons.
But she just like chasing people with the axe, swinging at them and everything. She didn't hit anybody.
This is when we need some of that good old-fashioned American police brutality to just show up and shoot this woman on body camera.
Yeah, where's Tough Tony when you need him?
What's that?
I said, where's Tough Tony when you need him?
I think Dick Darwin would have put this woman down, and he's not a good cop.
Yeah, I had too much going on. I wasn't able to get in touch with him for this one.
Nah, that's too bad.
Yeah,
he's probably still crying in his shower after the Kent episodes. That could be me.
But she was arrested and taken back to St. Alamos and evaluated, and this time she was diagnosed with postnatal depression, and she was released.
Of course, that's what it is.
Released with no medication or therapy or anything. Postnatal depression. See ya. What could go wrong?
That'll do the trick. Just turn her back into the wild.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here, you cunt.
Yeah. You're all right.
You're all right.
Off you pop.
Still, several days of eerie peace and quiet came from her place. Then she decided that she was going to find David, and she damn near killed 2 people in the process.
Like fucking female Maxim Gelman here. Like,
yeah.
Just going out on rampages because why not?
The Macbeths were neighbors, and they were sympathetic to her plight, likely because that was the safest thing they could be when they were in such close proximity to Katherine.
Yeah. It's like having a wild animal show up at your house. You're just like, all right, buddy.
Hey,
nice I'm gonna go back here. Yeah. It's like a fucking bear in your driveway.
Oh, you little pooch. Maybe
okay,
I got a
buddy?
milk bone.
Where do you belong?
Ghostbusters. She went to their house on the 3rd day of quiet and started banging on the door. 16-year-old Margaret Macbeth came to the door, and Kat screamed, help me, my baby's sick and I ain't got the car. Will you take me? Please?
No.
Margaret
Give us
said,
the child.
Margaret said, sure, let me get my keys and my brother. She said, your brother? Yeah, I'm babysitting my brother. I can't leave him here. All right. So Katherine, along with Margaret and their brother, piled into the car. Margaret asked if the baby was at Kat's parents' house. And to that, Kat replied, Queensland. We're going to Queensland. In case you're wondering, Queensland is about 932 miles from Aberdeen.
Yeah, we just carjacked an Uber driver, basically.
It's a 16-hour drive.
Follow that car. Where? To the other side of the fucking country. And like, Australia is a big country. Like, we don't really put it into perspective because we've got a lot of big area here, but Australia is huge. It's the only country that's an island, a country, and a continent all at the same time.
But Margaret started to protest, and it's just like, okay, your baby's in Queensland. Katherine said, "Who gives a fuck about the baby? We're going to go get David." Margaret said that she couldn't take her that far and couldn't have her brother gone that long. Katherine told her to shut up and drive and revealed that she had one of her butcher knives with her, and she slashed Margaret across the face with it, permanently scarring her. Margaret, of course, reluctantly agreed, but she was quick on her feet and showed grace under pressure.
And this was what, the early 80s?
I think we're still in this. Yeah, we're still in the 70s here, I think.
So, I mean, this is before Australia banned guns, so that's probably a plus, I guess. Because that was like the 90s when the Port Arthur massacre happened.
Yeah.
And after that, they're like, oh, you can't have guns anymore.
Yeah, this was like, yeah. I think we're still in this. I think we're still in the 70s here.
I mean,
but
the Port Arthur massacre was an overnight in Chicago.
Yeah, right. But she told Kat that if she was going to take them that far away, they'd need petrol.
Mm-hmm. Ain't got no gas in it. Mm-hmm.
They went to a gas station, and Margaret told to tell her, help us, we've been kidnapped. It's Katherine Knight. She did this to my face, and she's got my brother in the car. Call the police. So Margaret didn't get back into the car, and this isn't a situation where Katherine wouldn't hurt a kid. I mean, she abused her kids.
Oh yeah, she would definitely hurt a kid.
So she was scared, and rightfully so. Well, she already did. A 16-year-old just slashed her across the face.
Yep. No, that's what I'm saying. Is like she would definitely hurt a child.
Right. But Margaret's brother decided to make a break for it, but Kat was too quick, and she grabbed him and dragged him back into the car.
Do we know how old the brother was?
I think I saw that he was like 6.
Oh my God. Okay. Ugh. Mm.
How many people need therapy because of this bitch?
She needs to be euthanized. Like if a dog hurts a kid, we put it down. We don't do that with people, though. That's why I'm running for president.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah. That's my big push. You hurt kids, we will fucking kill you.
She told Margaret to get back in the car and to drive, and she threatened the boy. But finally, police got there. They told Kat to stand down, and of course she didn't. She dragged the boy out of the car, basically taking him hostage. A human shield. A cop pounced and tried to drag the boy away from Kat. That worked, but Kat attacked the officers and slashed at one of them. She cut his hand, and now they're in a standoff. The cashier ran out of the store with 2 brooms and tossed one to each officer. And with the brooms, like I said, this is before the massacre. They probably did they have guns on their side? Australians, let us know,
probably
please.
Not. Hold on.
ckcbpodcast.com.
Please hold. 1 second here. Just for reference. 55 cents could have solved this problem.
For those listening on audio only, he just held up a bullet.
I did. It's a 9mm. It's pretty standard. Like, wasn't even a hollow point. Not even a hollow point. It's a fucking Full Metal Jacket. Damn it.
But they batted the knives out of their hands with the brooms. Just picturing
That's fucking crazy
in my head, like like an old lady, shoo, shoo, shoo,
like
with a broom in her hand.
Birthday party with a piñata. They blindfold the officers and spin them around a couple of times.
But they were able to bat the knife out of their hands and took her to the ground, and they arrested her. But since she and David were still married, he was still responsible for her. Kat was talking about how she was going to go to Queensland. She was going to kill David, his mother, and his whore. Then anyone in Aberdeen that helped him escape.
I can imagine him just showing up at the prison, and they're like, "You're here to pick your wife up? No, it ain't mine, mate." No. Just leaving. Like, nah.
Melissa was placed with Barbara and Ken Knight. Not sure if that's any better.
Probably not.
But Kellett was notified about what happened. He was horrified, but he actually drove the 932 miles with his mother to see Katherine, who was under heavy sedation. But she kind of perked up a little bit when she saw him.
I would imagine. She's got a fucking murder boner for this man.
Yeah. August 1976, Katherine was released into the care of David. The stipulation was that he oversee her medication. They also picked up Melissa and brought her along as well. Now, how is Catherine allowed within 100 feet of that baby?
I'd have been like, hey, babe, let's take like a couple handfuls extra of these.
Yeah.
Wash it down with some gin and then lay face down on the floor. Really level you out.
Put a knife in that. Shortly later, though, Catherine and Kellett were once again living together in Aberdeen. But he was a truck driver, so he was away from her, and she got a job at a slaughterhouse. Yay!
Yeah, let's give you knives again, Kat, and see what happens.
Oh, those were her knives. She still had those knives.
No, but give a reason to use them professionally, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This arrangement worked, and she and Kellett lived happily ever after and are still married today, and they have 12 kids.
13 if you count Melissa.
Yeah. No. It was
She's a problem.
It was worse than before. One time, Kat was at her parents' house. Now, her parents were enablers, and they totally believed all the lies that Kat had told, and that she had been David's victim of abuse. He knocked on the door, and when Barbara answered, she asked him, "What did you do to my darling, you piece of sheep shite?" She attacked David, and she knocked him down to the ground and stomped the shit out of him. Katherine Knight was a lot of things, but one thing she wasn't was the type to share.
After listening to that William Cantrell episode, that is a phrase that I was worried about when I decided to be your co-host, because like that could just become a thing every single fucking episode.
Not every episode.
She was a lot of things, but mostly she was a real bitch.
Yeah, she was not the type to share. She punched Barbara hard enough to knock her down the stairs out cold.
Get out of the way, Mom. It's my turn to kick my husband's ass.
She's the only one who gets to beat up her man.
Yeah.
I think there's a classic country song in there somewhere.
Yeah, that sounds like a
no one else beats up my man.
Yep.
Like oh god.
You ain't woman enough to take my man. Fuck, I can't remember who did that. Loretta Lynn.
Yeah, the coal miner's daughter. Okay. I'm embarrassed that I couldn't. It was like right on the tip of my tongue. It's like I knew it, but I
was like, it's there.
Yeah.
I've heard that song so many goddamn times that I can hear the woman's voice, and I just couldn't put a name to it. My mother would be very ashamed of me if I didn't know it was Loretta Lynn off the top of my head.
Things went back to good for a while. Kat got a job and was being a good wife and mom. But in March of 1980, they had another daughter, Natasha Marie. And then right back to normal. The psycho switch had been flipped.
You know that this woman having kids makes her crazy. Mm-hmm. So vasectomies.
Yeah, right?
Just saying. I mean, you can do them yourself if you do it. You get a hammer and just fucking whack your nuts. You'll be good.
You're not nice.
Ooh, no, I know. No, but that's from something I almost witnessed.
You know he's gonna say it. He won't sugarcoat it. You might even say he's a loon. That's history, Goon.
Anyway, I worked with a mechanic who couldn't pull out of a driveway. He had like 5 kids in 4 different states with 6 different women or whatever it was. And he was trying to beat a wheel bearing out to replace it. And I watched him sitting on the floor, cross-legged, holding this thing with his feet, and he missed, and he almost hit himself in the balls. And I went, man, you almost did yourself the biggest favor you could have.
And probably the world, too.
He's like, yeah, that's true. I should try again. I'm like, I don't want to watch you smash your balls with a fucking 6-pound sledgehammer.
Damn.
Please.
1984, Kellett came home, and it was as if God had finally answered his prayers. Catherine had bounced. She was gone, along with all of her things and probably some of his things, too.
You imagine this man just standing in his doorway. Lord, I don't ask you for a lot of things, but thank you for this.
Thank you.
I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed. Thank you so much.
But she had taken the 2 girls, too. But she had gone back to her parents.
Thought.
Yeah. She had gone back to her parents' farm in Aberdeen, and she had gotten her job at the slaughterhouse back. And she was also using her maiden name. So Katherine Knight is back.
Yay!
Yay! But to the shock of no one, Catherine couldn't get along with her parents, so she moved into an apartment with her kids, government assisted, of course.
Yep.
But she also hurt her back while working and got disability for it. Her days of slaughtering animals were over.
Womp womp. But again, divine intervention. Now we move on to bigger and better things.
True.
She became an attorney. She got her shit together. Thanks for joining us this week, everybody.
Yeah, we'll see you next week when
Yep.
we cover some Canadian crazy
Fuck,
woman.
we got another hour of this. No!
We're about halfway.
No, I'm just joking. Just like, son of a bitch, it's not over yet.
But
Roll the music midway through the episode and be like, nah, just kidding. He started working for CPS and saved a bunch of kids from abusive homes.
are you there?
No, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
here.
How do I get rid of this? I think I have to let it go. I think I have to let it play.
You might have to, but we can just do
Oh wait,
commentary through it.
hold on. Okay, I can fast forward to the end. Okay, cool.
Then you can just cut that out in the middle.
Yeah.
We've had some testicle difficulties. Well, somebody did, but now we were goofing and fucked up. I mean, somebody's gonna have fun through this episode because every other man involved with it is not. So
Yeah.
it may as well be us. Oh boy!
I can't believe I did that. But Catherine was lonely. She was lonely.
So lonely.
I'm so lonely.
We're not being racist. It's from a song. Stop.
Right. She wanted
Grow
a
up.
man. She'd had several short relationships since leaving Kellett, but she wanted something real. And by what I mean, what I'm thinking, what happened was she found a couple guys who hit it and quit it.
Oh yeah. No,
Because the majority of the guys are not gonna. I would say 99% of the guys in Aberdeen, if they wanted to get with her, just to sample what is probably some really that too street cred. They're hitting it and quitting it.
Listen, fellas, I know you think you can, right? But pro tip: you can't fuck the crazy out of them.
No.
You can try. You can do your best. It just is not going to work.
Nope.
So the first time you wake up with a knife in your face, not even from Katherine Knight, from just any random woman that you could run into in a bar, that's
Run.
it. Run. Go. Doesn't matter if it's a butter knife. Who cares? It's a
Right.
knife.
So
Not speaking from experience, but hey.
enter Dave Saunders, a 38-year-old man she knew from the bar. He was a minor, and they hit it off. He was a good dude, but he liked to drink a lot.
Said
And
it was a minor. I'd be drinking if I was doing that shit.
Yeah, true. When Catherine wasn't in her dark moods, she was a pleasure to be around, and she wasn't ugly either.
I
guessing.
disagree. I don't think she was ever a pleasure to be around.
Well, there's that one picture. There's that one picture of her where she's not like hideous or whatever, and that's not a very good picture. So I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt here.
And you're on the right track here, I think, because you also have to figure in, like with a police report, alcohol is a factor.
Right.
You wake up like a coyote in the snare trap and you have to chew your own hand off to get out of there.
But I'm guessing Dave was underground when she did her Cottrell with a knife or with an axe impersonation. He had never heard of her. And he really thought that he had just hit the jackpot when he met her. Maybe he had at first. And Catherine had finally found a man that could keep up with her sexually, and things were going well.
2
I'm
hours
serious.
later, the honeymoon's
She has
over.
got to be, she's got to be like a fucking freak in bed.
Oh yeah, some freak shit. Yeah,
to keep guys coming back like that and everything. I bet she was into pegging.
she's probably no. I'm I won't say that because that's not a nice thing to say. Imagine just sitting around the bar and be like, she does this crazy thing with her mouth, but she will try to kill you.
Yeah.
Is it worth it though? Yeah. Yeah.
After several months, Dave moved in with Catherine and her 2 kids. But he kept something. Guess what he kept?
I don't know, but I know it's going to piss her off.
They moved in together,
Mm-hmm.
but he kept something.
He kept his apartment. He kept an extra apartment just in case.
Right.
Smart move. It's an expensive move, but it's a very good backup plan.
But that obviously didn't sit very well with Catherine, and the red-headed monster began to show itself. She was convinced that he was cheating on her with every woman in Australia in this apartment that he kept, as she accused him of it frequently, which led to escalating fights. She would kick him out and then beg him to come back, which he did, and it didn't take long before she started beating him. She was much stronger. She was much taller than him, much stronger than him, so it wasn't really that difficult for her. And it's just like you could just throw that paragraph in there with every man that she's with.
Yep.
Because it's all the same. Only the names will change. Every day seems we're wasting away.
So, I mean, full disclosure, neither one of us are short guys. You're what, 6'3"?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6 foot. Short dudes. Just find a nice girl that's not going to beat you up or toss you around. They're out there. You'll find one. Just don't date crazy women, which is more of a challenge than it sounds like.
ADD break. I got something just for that there, Kevin, what you were just talking about short men.
Ruh-roh. Oh, that's funny. But I do know a lot of short guys that are just like, they can't get dates because they are short, and women are like, ew, gross. I'd rather date a guy that treats me like shit and cheats on me than a nice guy that's 5'6".
I had taken this picture. I actually took this picture at the St. Louis Zoo. By the way, for those of you listening on audio, there is a picture of a gazelle trying to mount a giraffe.
And he's having no luck.
And the
no
caption
luck whatsoever.
And the caption is when tall women date short men.
Oh.
Anyway.
That poor gazelle.
May of 1987, they got into a fight, and she had knocked him out with a frying pan.
Yeah.
Then she ran to the backyard. And when he woke up a couple minutes later, she was still outside. He realized his puppy was still out back.
Oh, no. Oh, no, Bill, no.
Yeah.
I forgot about this.
He ran outside and saw Catherine covered with blood, and his puppy was dead. She had slit its throat.
Okay, fuck this lady all the way to death.
She told him that if he ever ran around with a woman, that's what she would do to him. And the funny thing was he had never cheated on her. None of her men cheated on her. None of them did. But that particular night, he had actually brought home flowers for Kat, and he wanted to have a romantic evening with her. He told her this, and it went in one ear and out the other. And she then beat him again with the frying pan, asking him how he could possibly do this to her. There was also a fake suicide attempt, but Dave stayed. He was in love, and she must have been really good in bed.
Dave, stop, Dave. Go. Just take your puppy corpse and go.
Yeah. She, at some point, she, you remember when I said that her respect for animals wouldn't last long?
Yeah, right there, I'd say.
Well, yeah, but before that, she's the type that would try and run down cats and dogs on the road with a car.
Yeah, okay, so she
started
sucks.
doing that.
She's not a good person. We've now established that she's a problem.
We've now established it.
She's hurting. She's hurting animals that don't deserve it, and then she's hitting men that continue to come back so that she can hit them more.
Right.
So that's their fault. I mean, yeah, it sucks, but don't be stupid. Think with your brain, not with your penis.
Well,
it's a challenge, but
he
you can
didn't.
do it.
He didn't, because she later apologized with some of that sweet cat kitty that everybody that she was with couldn't get enough of.
I don't like that you said that at all. Yuck.
Cat kitty. Meow.
God.
And things were good until they weren't.
Like always, that just seems to be the running theme of this story. Is things are good and then they're not.
Yep. Year
just
later,
her life story.
Yeah. June 1988, Katherine gave birth to child number 3, another girl named Sarah. This kind of smoothed things over. Dave, which that's a wrinkle in the playbook, because usually whenever
she usually goes child crazy.
Yeah. But Dave put down a payment on the house, which Katherine paid off the next year when her disability settlement came in.
Okay.
I mean, the house wasn't all that. It was a weatherboard house, and it was in shit shape. I actually found a picture of it. I'm not even kidding. This is on the documentary that I somewhat used a little bit of. Look at that.
That looks like a closed convenience store to me. That's like a quick stop that's been shut, you know?
Yeah, but there's a house right next to it, to the left.
Is there?
Right there. You see that?
Huh.
That's a house.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I don't think they would have just thrown that up if it, put it in the documentary when it's talking about the house she got.
No, that looks like something out of like Fallout 3.
You know how much that would cost in Orlando?
$157 million.
Approximately, give or take.
You could buy that motherfucker in Vermont and it's a $200,000 house.
Yeah.
Because it's got, a quarter of an acre of land with it that you can't do anything with.
But because that house couldn't have cost very much at all, she had leftover money, and she decked it out with her favorite things. Take a guess.
Knives.
And?
Dead animal bits.
Right? Dead animals, cowhides, taxidermy, ox horns, sheep, deer skulls, antlers, a stuffed peacock. Oh, it was a peacock, not an emu. She probably had an emu too.
So, don't get me wrong. Taxidermy's fine. I don't have a problem with it personally. I would, if I had the room and the money, I would collect weird shit that's been taxidermied, like the the mice sword fights. Those are cool. They're fun.
Right.
I highly doubt any of this stuff has been properly treated, and it's just like smelly,
She even had a deer fawn. She displayed leather motorcycle jackets.
That's a new one.
Oh, and I put on there, she probably had an emu skeleton too. So that's where the emu came from.
That'd be pretty rad. Like an articulated emu skeleton.
Yeah.
If it didn't take up so much space, that'd be kind of cool.
She bought lots of VHS movies, mostly horror movies. I'm guessing the Faces of Death series was in her collection.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, she's like, I gotta make these.
She better be glad that the producer of those was, she was nowhere near the producer when she found out that those were all fake.
Oh, yeah. She'd have been pissed off.
She'd have been pissed. And I bet if she found out about it, I bet she was pissed. I bet she flew into a rage over that. What?
Well, it's like, what the hell was it? Cannibal Holocaust. That one that everybody was convinced was real because after they made it, the whole crew went into hiding for like 2 years after that.
Yeah. And, I haven't seen that one, but I have seen Green Inferno.
Cannibal Holocaust is fucked.
Well, Green Inferno is, I think it's called Green Inferno.
Yeah.
But that one's kind of fucked too. Oh wait, that one wasn't supposed to be like a found footage movie.
No, Cannibal Holocaust is like 1970 something. Yeah, but it is.
I know of the movie. I haven't seen it, but I know exactly what you're talking about, especially one scene in particular. Yes,
it's unsettling. Yeah.
But the fights with Dave picked up again, probably because he didn't like living in the ghetto sportsman's lodge. In one fight, Catherine bashed him with an iron and stabbed him with scissors. He bolted to his apartment, but he came back and found that Catherine had shredded all of his clothes. That did it. He bounced, quit his job.
The clothes were the last straw, huh?
Yeah. Not the puppy.
Interesting. Yeah.
Not the puppy.
No, the dog would have been enough.
If I dated her and survived and got the hell away from her, I mean, Dave bounced, he quit his job. I would have probably changed my name and moved.
I'd have been in jail, man. I'm telling you, I would have turned this into a fucking Charles Bronson movie.
Yeah.
Just to make sure.
He also stopped going to all of his watering holes. Catherine searched for him, but he was gone. He had told his friends where he was, but they refused to give him up when Catherine came looking. But I'm not sure I would have even trusted my friends with that information.
No, you fake your own death and you move to a different continent.
Yeah. Continent, yeah. Move to a different planet.
I'm Japanese now. Actually, that's
I really think so.
Close. No, I need to get further away than that. That's too close.
Yeah. Several months later, Dave showed up at the house to see his daughter. Catherine had prepared for such an occasion. She had gone to police and told them that he had been abusing her and the kids and that she was scared. And she took out a restraining order against him, and he was to leave town or go to jail. So Dave bounced and never looked back.
I mean, going to jail seems safer, though. I mean,
yeah, she can't get to him there.
No.
Meanwhile, Catherine had found a new beau.
Of course she did.
43-year-old John Chillingsworth.
This town has got to have the most desperate men on the entirety of Australia to be like, oh, man, look at this thing that just moved in. Oh, boy.
He was the one that she was flirty with when she was 17, but he wasn't because he wasn't Kip Winger.
And he's back.
He finally decided she was old enough. So they got busy quickly, and within a couple of months, she was pregnant again.
Dude, oh my God! Somebody sterilized this woman.
In 1991, her first son Eric was born. Catherine and John lasted about 3 years. Nobody won the pool. They would
they have a dead pool going at this bar for her.
Not a death pool because she hadn't killed anybody, but like what kind of bruises he would come in with.
Oh, no. Oh, they've got an abuse lottery for this man.
Yeah.
Damn
abuse lottery.
Oh, no.
But this was her longest relationship to date. But he also didn't take Kat's shit either. He fought back when she attacked him. And she may have actually grown a little bit of respect for him. And out of all of her men, John got the least amount of physical abuse.
Oh, because he'll fight her back.
Yeah. But she left him for John Price, who she had been cheating on Chillingsworth with.
This is all in Aberdeen?
Yeah.
Okay, you keep going. I'm going to do myself a little side ADD break here because I'm curious to see what the population of this town is. See if we can find the percentage of dudes that she's fucked.
Okay. Chillingworth was a very lucky man in hindsight, but he actually quit drinking after Catherine left him and began bettering himself. That's cool.
Yeah, that's good for him.
John Price, however, had just signed his death warrant by hooking up with Catherine.
What year is this?
91. And just because we know who John Price is, we'll throw the other one on there too.
The population of Aberdeen, New South Wales in 1991 was 1,797.
Holy crap. Is it like a suburb of some like a bigger town or something?
Let's see. I don't know enough about Australia to really know.
Well, just pull it up on the map and zoom out a little bit.
Yeah. That's where we're going. The next closest town that I can see is Dartbrook.
Never heard of it.
This is approximately in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Like Snowtown.
The next big town is Sydney, and that is just a quick 3.5 hour drive.
Oh, okay.
So
like going from here to Miami.
Yeah, it's out in the middle of just buttfuck nowhere, which is already the middle of buttfuck nowhere because you're in Australia.
Well, this makes sense now. This makes the whole thing. There were no other women there.
No, I guarantee you that this is probably she's probably like one of 50 in town, and they're just like, I'm related to 9 or 10 of the other ones.
We should do some research and find out if the other 50 were run through.
Population breakdown.
Yeah.
Gender.
Hold on. I'm just going to keep going here.
Yeah.
Tell me when you got it. John Pricey Price was a good guy, and Katherine didn't deserve him. He was friendly to everybody. He would help anyone out if they needed it. Nobody had a bad thing to say about him. He had been married before, and he and his ex-wife had 3 kids. She had left him with 2 teenagers, a boy and a girl, and she took the youngest daughter. Now, he and his ex-wife were still on good terms. I'm not exactly sure why they divorced, but they were still very good friends. And in fact, after she died, or after he died, she would actually say in an interview that that she had never known a nicer man than him.
Yeah, sometimes shit just doesn't work out. I mean,
yeah, and that's what I think it was here.
Living proof. Like, I get along better with my ex-wife than I did for the last year that we were married. So, yeah.
He had a good job at the mine. He had been there 17 years and made a 6-figure salary.
Damn.
He owned a house and he could drink. It said that people would talk about him and say that he could drink for all of Australia.
God damn. Put him on the international team.
Yeah, right. But he was a happy drunk and highly functional with a good work ethic.
So from what I'm looking at, the closest I could find was 1986, and it looks like that town was about 86% and change male.
Oh my God.
So there's not a lot of ladies running around there.
No.
This is probably like a mining town.
Oh yeah, it's a mining town, and the slaughterhouse they had was huge.
So this is just a sausage fest, the whole town. So
yeah, there was one there was the women chose the men that they wanted, and it wasn't the other way around.
It's like Alaska.
Yeah.
Where there's 1,000 men per woman there.
Yeah.
So there's just bar fights constantly over 4s.
Yeah.
I can't talk because I'm a solid 5.5 at best.
But John and Katherine met in a bar in 1993. They were both 38 years old. He had heard all the horror stories about Katherine and how she treated men that she was with. And I guess he thought he could change her, or now we know it's because there wasn't anybody else.
Yep. Unless I want to fuck my mom or my sister, and I've already been there before. So.
Oh my God.
What was that line from Full Metal Jacket? Better my mom than my sister, and my sister ain't bad.
But she was sweet and friendly and was an equal partner in the relationship, and John's kids got along well with her, and all was well. Say it. Go ahead. Take it.
And then...
Well, until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's the part where if this was like an investigation discovery documentary, the screen would have gone black and white and froze for a second.
Yeah. The accusations of cheating started off like clockwork, followed by abuse, separation, reconciliation. In 1995, Katherine moved in with John.
Oh, Johnny boy.
She had left that dump with the animal carcasses all over the place and moved into a palace.
She didn't bring her animal carcasses with her?
No, she probably did.
I would imagine. I mean,
but she decided that they were going to get married, but John said, nope.
nuh-uh.
So she took his credit card and spent $2,000 on an engagement ring.
Oh, God. Oh, she's one of those.
John told her she could keep it and wear it, but they still weren't getting married.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man, John's fun. It's unfortunate what's going to happen next.
Oh, I know. I like John.
I'd buy John a beer if...
I would.
Yep.
All these guys seem pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
except for, the constant cheating and abusing her, of course, which
didn't happen.
Isn't the case,
But the fighting continued, even in public, grocery stores, bars, wherever else. Cat threw a hissy fit, and it came out of nowhere. John, I really like how the lawn looks, but maybe we could get some pretty plants to pretty it up some. Sure, Catherine, what do you have in mind? Well, I think maybe some... Damn it, you're cheating on me! I'll kill you!
You looked at her. The guy at the counter? Whore! She starts hitting him.
That's a stop sign, Catherine.
Yeah.
I saw the way you were looking at it.
You know it's a stop sign because you had sex with it.
We're probably not far off here.
Oh, boy. One of those situations where if you're a smoker, you're just going to light a cigarette and go, yep, you're right, I did. I had sex with that bench, because why wouldn't I have?
You fucked that stop sign. You did not have consent. It was telling you to stop the entire time.
I thought it was a yield.
Oh, shit.
We've got a comedian up here that tells a joke about a guy that, like, back in the day, like back in the 80s, he got the shit kicked out of him by a state trooper because he rolled through a stop sign like a couple of days after a car full of kids had gotten killed there. And he told the officer, he's like, I slowed down, and then the cop pulled him out of the car and started hitting him with a fucking flashlight. He's like, do you want me to stop or just slow down?
That's funny. That's hilarious. That's awesome.
Lesson learned.
In 1998, Kat found out that she wasn't in John's will on top of his refusal to marry her, and she sank to a new low. She showed John's bosses at the mine a video that she had taken of things that John had stolen from them. John was fired.
Wasn't it like a medical kit or something?
Yeah. There was a couple expired first aid kit that had been thrown away. He took them out of the trash. She set him up because he refused to marry her. I mean, sure,
Yeah.
she's a bitch, and John was smart not to marry her, but his bosses were assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in town knew how downright mean Cat was. Maybe he was taking those first aid kits for, maybe he was doing a little bit of premeditation there, figuring he might need something like that.
And listen, I full disclosure, I've done that before. I have taken expired medical stuff like bandages and things like that because they're going to be thrown away, and my crazy ass is like, I might need them someday. But full disclosure,
and just because it's expired doesn't mean it's not going to stop blood if you cut yourself.
Right. So
everyone in town knew how downright mean Cat was. John had been with this company for 17 years and was a valued employee, unless they were just. Remember, he makes six figures. Maybe they were looking for a reason to get rid of him.
And if he's been there a while, if you get rid of him at a certain point in time, maybe we don't have to pay pension.
He lost his pension.
Yep. That saves the company a lot of money. She just tossed them a fucking softball, and they're like,
So they celebrated with drinks at the bar, then checked into a hotel, and she ran a train on all of them.
Is that like for facts? Or?
Yes, I said no.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. But Kat was initially going to use the tape to blackmail him because of a fight where she had beat him badly, and John had punched her in self-defense. Later, the subject of marriage came up, so she used it for revenge. The same day that John got fired, he kicked her ass to the curb, and then she ran back to her Firefly replica house. This story, like all the others, spread all through town. John had kicked her out, and I really, really wish he had just stayed gone and maybe even taken a restraining order out on her, but he didn't. Not yet, anyway. More and more violent fighting happened, especially when Kat found out that she wasn't in his will, that he was leaving his house to the kids.
Yep. I mean, which makes sense because...
Well, of course it does.
You know.
But a couple months later, John took her back again, although this time he didn't let her move back in. Even though she wasn't living with him, he lost some friends over this, and I can't blame the friends either. They're just like, I don't. No. If you're going to be involved with her, I got nothing for you.
Yep. Especially if you've seen all the warning signs and your buddies have been like, "Hey,
yeah,
this is not a good one."
But the fight started again, to the surprise of no one. This time, John had an axe to grind. Whenever she would start a fight, he would counter with the fact that she got him fired. But the fights were worse this time, and lots of times public, and she started accusing John of raping her daughter. This had been a go-to. Everyone was a pedo. I mean, she even broke his dentures in a fight. Top and bottom just broke them both in half.
That's a dick move, because those aren't cheap. I mean,
no, they're not. But he left and slept at his apartment, and when he came back, he found Kat out cold from another fake suicide attempt, and he rushed her to the hospital. You know, and then all of a sudden the feelings came back and everything. But John was addicted. There's no other word that works for here for what he is. He's addicted to Kat. He's addicted to that. What did I say before? Cat kitty.
Yuck. I was pretending that I'd forgotten.
One weekend, he decided to rent a bounce house for the kids in the neighborhood just because. His buddy
he's
had,
a good dude.
Yeah, his buddy had one, and so he bought his buddy a case of beer if he'd just come set it up on his place. Not to be outdone, when it wasn't even a competition, Kat decided to ruin the mood. She accused John of raping her daughters. John was like a deer in the headlights. So it's like, what the fuck? Where's this coming from? Like, he hadn't done this and he would never do this. Melissa had enough. Or was it Melissa or was it? I think it was Melissa.
Was the oldest of her first daughter that she had, the one that she put on the train tracks.
Now I'm thinking that I've got this wrong. It was either Melissa or it was John's oldest daughter. I think I've got Melissa written here, but I think
maybe his daughter was a Melissa also. I mean, this is the 70s or early 90s.
I don't know because whatever. Let's just say either Melissa or John's daughter had enough.
Yeah.
Kat had a really nice designer plate that she treasured, and I'm just going to say Melissa because that's what I have written. Melissa grabbed it and asked whose it was. Kat said it was hers. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was John's daughter.
Okay.
John's daughter told her that if she didn't mellow out, she would smash it. And she then set it down and ran outside. Kat followed. It was about to attack, and Melissa said, "This is Aberdeen," and kicked her in the stomach and sent her flying to the ground. Once again, Kat didn't retaliate. Remember her brothers? Now she's the bully getting a dose of her own.
Yep. She's also charging up her finishing move,
She is.
And without spoiling anything, this could have been any of these guys previous to this.
Yeah, any of them. But still, everybody that knew the couple knew that this was going to end badly, and it even got worse. Take a guess.
Oh man, I don't know. Did she finally break him down to the point that he said yes, he'd marry her?
No, he let her move back in though.
Oh, dummy! Come on, John.
Monday, February 8th, 2000. Oh wait, you know what?
No, we've got a date.
We got a date. You know what that means. We got a date. And for the true crime machine.
We've got a date. John's gonna die.
No, this isn't that day yet.
Not yet.
Monday, February 28th, Kat actually stabbed John in the chest during a fight, though.
Golly.
John finally took out a restraining order on Kat and then kicked her out again. But hell hath no fury like a psychotic redhead scorn, which I know all too well. She had to come back and to get her things, and John was going to let her, and he was going to be there despite everybody telling him to hide until she was gone.
You have the cops there. Call the police to be there while she comes to pick her shit up. It's not that big of a deal.
Yep.
Oh, Johnny boy.
She had been saying that she was going to kill John, and John was scared. I mean, he had actually, by chance, met David Kellett in the bar where they traded notes.
Mm-hmm.
Kellett even told him to get the hell out of there. Regardless, John went home anyway, and he was saying that he was worried for the kids. He told his neighbor that if he wasn't in the morning, it's because Kat had killed him. And Kat came over that night, and they had sex. Later that night, John woke up with Kat standing over him, right close to his face, holding a knife to his neck. That's some Bell Gunnish shit right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of the funniest episodes that Todd and I ever did. It was Bell Gunnish.
That woman was out of her mind. Like,
hey, Todd and I made Warren Jeffs funny.
That's true, but like Bell Gunnish being crazy, making Katherine Knight look well adjusted, is impressive.
The next day, Tuesday, February 29th, 2000, Kat began acting strangely. The first thing she had done was to send the kids to sleep over at a friend's house. She then grabbed a video camera and went to where the kids were, and basically narrating a will saying who got what in the event that she and John were no longer around. You can find that video on YouTube, I think. But the next day, John had been hanging out with the neighbors, and he went to bed around 11 p.m. and a car pulled into his driveway. Guess who?
That's her.
Yeah. She entered the house, and I'm guessing she's had a key still. She watched some TV, and I've heard it was Star Trek.
Was it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And then she took a shower. Either she was really quiet or John's a really heavy sleeper, because after her shower, she crawled into bed with him, woke him up, and they had sex.
Yep. I mean, either that. I've never heard the sexy music before. That's not bad. Either that or he was just shit hammered drunk, which maybe. I mean is for possible. This story that would track.
Later, she got up and she went into the room, and she started stabbing John. He was able to get up, and he ran down the hall, taking stabs all the way, leaving a trail of blood behind him. He made it to the front door. He opened it, and like a scene from a horror movie, Kat grabbed him by the legs and pulled. He hit the ground, and then she slammed the door and dragged him back.
It's like that scene in the original...
like that scene in every horror movie.
Oh, no. Like
with a monster in it.
The one that sticks out for me is in the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the door just slides open and he just like, see ya, and door slams.
Yep. Once he was dead, Kat used a knife and made slits all the way down his body. She was able to to peel all the skin off of him in one piece.
Yep.
There was like one little spot that didn't come off. She then hung this up on a hook, and then with precision, she decapitated John and put his head in a pot of water with vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Other body parts were roasted in the oven, mostly from his buttocks.
Yeah, it's a lot of meat.
She threw some of the meat outside for good measure. 6 a.m., March 1st, 2000. His neighbors noticed that John's work truck was still there. He usually left for work earlier than that. His boss was also wondering where he was because he was never late for work. Neighbors knocked on his window trying to wake him up. They went to the front door and they saw blood on the door. So they called police, who arrived quickly. When the police looked in through the front, they saw what they thought was a curtain hanging in the foyer area when they looked in.
God.
They went around behind the house. They knocked the back door down and went in, and they were not ready for what they saw.
Nope. Man curtain.
They didn't even realize it was a curtain until one of them touched it.
There's not enough fucking hand sanitizer in the world to get rid of that feeling.
Even seasoned detectives who worked the case described it like nothing they'd ever experienced, and some quit after being part of this. Several officers had PTSD for years. There was one who could not sleep at night.
Yep. This is the kind of thing where it wouldn't have surprised me if you're like, oh, one of the detectives actually killed himself. Mm-hmm. Because that happens pretty frequently with stuff like this.
I think one did.
Yep. That sounds about right.
She then staged his body in his favorite chair with a leg up over his knee and his hand on a drink.
Yeah, that drink was a Coke.
Yeah.
That's where the Coke can came in.
Oh.
Yep.
Knight had even set up the dining room table with two places with placards marked with the names of each of Price's kids. Meat, which was John, and veggies, plus gravy that she had made from John's head.
Oh.
Katherine was going to feed John to his own kids.
Yep. Yep.
Knight had even left a note written in blood on top of a photograph of Price. Read, well, I don't know if it was written in blood. That's just what I have written. But it said, "Time got you back for Jonathan rapping, Rapping. It's raping.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter. You to Beck for Ross for Little John. Now play with Little John's dick, John Price."
You did mention that she's illiterate.
I did.
So yeah, that would make sense.
This makes BTK look like a wordsmith.
Yeah. Oh, and his shitty poetry. Ugh.
"Oh, Anna, why didn't you appear?"
Because you're a dick, Dennis. That's why.
You should listen to the BTK trilogy that I did with Paul when we redid it, because I made him read all that shit.
Oh, that's why he quit, Bill.
I will put my BTK trilogy up against anybody's.
I have to go back and listen to it.
But none of these accusations were true, and this was according to Katherine's kids, and luckily none of the kids were in the house. They then found Katherine unconscious and snoring loudly, and she had overdosed on pills. This was probably a legitimate suicide attempt, but they got there fast enough to help her.
Yep.
She was revived and arrested, taken to the hospital. She swore she didn't remember anything from that night after the point that they had had sex. John just got out of bed for a pee and she went to sleep. That was it.
Said he was changing his clothes and I woke up and he's just completely naked on the couch.
Yeah, completely.
Took his birthday suit off and everything.
Luckily, forensics determined that John was dead, was already dead when Katherine skinned him. The whole process, that they estimate that the whole process would have taken about 45 minutes if she hadn't stopped at all.
And if you go
even for somebody with her skill set, but still 45 minutes to strip it.
And if you go back and listen to my torture methods episode on History Goon podcast, there was a pretty extensive spot that I covered about flaying, which they would generally keep people alive for. And then had a couple of different ways of doing that, where they would either leave you out in the sun to like soften your skin up with sunburns, or they would dunk you repeatedly in boiling water, and then slice and pull it all off as much as they could in one piece.
But she did it without any of that.
Right, because she wasn't trying to hurt him because he was already dead.
Right.
And believe it or not, with the process of flaying as like a torture method, it's not the removal of the skin that generally kills you. It's either hypothermia or sepsis,
Right.
because you can't regulate your body temperature without skin.
Right.
And you can't keep infectious shit out without skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty fucking gross.
On March 6, 2000, she tried to commit suicide again. This is likely another fake attempt, or maybe not, because she did know that her goose was cooked.
Yep. Her
It was later
future
discovered.
husband was cooked as well, partially.
Ugh.
That was inappropriate. I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
You know he's gonna say it. He won't
Make my joke
sugarcoat
about dead
it.
guys.
You might even say he's a loon. That's history, Goon.
Oh, God.
It was later discovered that Kat had left the house, gone to a bank, and took $1,000 from John's bank account at an ATM, and then came back. That kind of reminds me of the Wichita Massacre.
Yep.
She pled guilty to avoid a long, drawn-out trial. At first, she pled not guilty, but then she pled guilty to avoid a long, drawn-out trial. And was
Psychiatrist?
that had deemed her to be perfectly sane when she killed John,
Yeah.
and it's obviously premeditated.
Yeah.
Well,
Without,
she'd been telling people that she was going to kill him. That whole videotape about the will and test, that videotape will and all that stuff. During sentencing, the judge said that Price's final moments must have been filled with terror, describing the act of killing as an act of extreme brutality.
Yeah.
In 2001, Katherine Knight was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, becoming the first woman in Australia to receive that punishment. It actually says in the sentencing documents, never to be released. Knight has appealed, but she's never getting out. Nobody knows if she actually ate pieces of John Price, and she's at Silverwater Women's Correctional Center. And her job there is a janitor. I mean, she's a good cook, but ain't nobody letting her into the kitchen.
No, I mean, again, we tack the word cannibal on for shock value. But would either one of us be surprised
If she
put that much time into cooking something with fucking gravy and vegetables? She ate some of this.
Probably.
She ate some of him.
Like, you know what? I've already done this, and I'm going to off myself anyway. Let's just see what it tastes like.
Exactly. I mean,
yeah. But that's it. Thank God. The saga of Katherine Knight.
Ugh.
So
this woman sucked, dude. Like,
yeah,
I know I've said that a few times in this little series, but
she was apparently really good at sucking too.
Had to have been. What's that old adage? Grippy socks, grippy box. You know. That's just saying, girls that go to psych wards are. Anyway.
Anyway, it is 12:30 at night, and
yes.
And I gotta get my ass. I had a really long day today, and I'm tired. I'm weary, and so thanks a lot for listening, everybody. We appreciate the absolute hell out of it, and seriously, spread the word. If you like somebody, or like, share, subscribe. If you like us, tell a friend. If you hate us, tell an enemy, and do all that stuff for History Goon as well. Yep. Until next week, later.
I unfortunately am going to eat because I was hungry before we started.
I'm hungry too. Bye, everybody.
Are you gonna say
bye?
Bye. Sorry.